So today we're going to be reforming the Soviet Union in Age of History 2. Now I know Mondays are supposed to be for other types of content such as other games, but we have done Age of History around 3 times now with this video, and I know that I said I'll be doing other games, but I don't know what else to play. I'm not going to do Hoi 4, none of the other games because I don't like Paradox games that much. Maybe City Skylines, but that's a big maybe. But yeah, we're just doing Age of History 2 and probably next week as well until I can figure out something else. But anyway, yes, the Soviet Union in Age of History 2. So same settings as always. We are actually going to go ahead and put the difficulty. Wait, have I been doing it at beginner? We're putting it at normal. We're doing Fog of War. We're going to turn that on because apparently I had it off. We're going to turn down the AI aggressiveness just a little bit. We're going to put it down to 85, and we're going to turn on this, even though that never really happens. Anyway, we are good to go, and we're playing as Russia, not Kyrgyzstan. So let's see what we can do in reforming the Soviet Union. First off, let's raise taxes as much as possible, and we're going to put this all at around 12-13% area. Actually, I'm going to bump up research a lot for now because we're not going to go to war right away. Technology points, I'm going to put a whole bunch of it into research, if not maybe all of it. 20. Oh yeah, we'll do all of it, and then we'll do here, we'll have 5 in taxation and then 5 in production. We'll dump 3 into administration and then 2 into military upkeep. So as you can see here, these are all the lands that we need to conquer in order to reform the Soviet Union. So a majority of it is from Kazakhstan, and then another majority from Ukraine, and you can, in the red, you guys can see, right? So let's start going by some turns. I'm gonna go ahead and try to be friendly with the non-Soviet countries like Turkey. Let's be friends with them. You know, in the last Age of History video, Russia and Turkey were not good friends, but we can change that today. Definitely want to be friendly with Poland and Romania. Those guys could be issues, and also Sweden. Now, since we do have Fog of War on, we're gonna go ahead and turn on or build some watchtowers so we can see the troops in the other provinces. And we're also gonna go ahead and build some armories around Ukraine in order to be able to recruit troops a lot cheaper. And then we'll also just sprinkle in some supply camps in order to make it cheaper for just the military to be in the province. So we got 5 more technology points. I'm gonna go ahead and dump that into income taxation. All right, so as we can see, Ukraine does have some troops on the border, as they should. They should be scared of me because, you know, Russia, pretty big country. Now, instead of, you know, jumping right into the war right away, which was a mistake that I had last time, we're gonna build up some money first and build up some technology points, and then we'll jump into the war because, you know, war is cool. I'm also going to start dumping. So we have $400,000, which I think is going to be enough to fight off Ukraine. So I'm going to go ahead and dump a lot of that money into research so we get even more technology points. So at this point, we're averaging around a technology point every 2 turns. And I want to spend a lot of those on military upkeep. If we also go ahead and take a look at our population map, we can start building libraries here, which will give us even more research points. So if you really want to build on research points, libraries help. And also knowing where everyone's at helps. All right, well, I was skipping ahead a little too many terms, and we ended up going to war with Ukraine without troops being ready, and we're also at war with China for some reason. Now, since I cannot fight off China at this very point, we're gonna go ahead and do some shenanigans in order to get China off of me, because I don't want to fight them right now, and I can't fight them right now because I have to fight Ukraine instead. So now we're gonna cut funding for research, or at least we're gonna drag it down just a little bit. I'll actually increase this a little bit because we have a lot of surplus in money. We also have a lot of technology points. I'm going to dump that into income production, and now we can go ahead and start to recruit some troops. So China has properly been sabotaged, as they deserve to be, and over in Ukraine we have a pretty solid front line. Now in China, they're just going to have a little bit of a field day for now. I cannot do much to stop them at this very point in time, but once they start getting to these bigger provinces, it'll be a lot easier to stop them. All right, so I'm pulling off a counter-offensive over here in Ukraine. Did I not cover that province? I also managed to put some troops over here in China, but they're really just there to be there. Actually, using this lake here is actually going to be pretty big for us because it does cut off China from a bunch of provinces. All right, the Ukrainian counteroffensive is going great. Also, apparently we're stopping China pretty well. We weren't able to get this part of Donbass, which is fine because we also got Mariupol out of it. And now I can go ahead and recruit some troops to put around this province because I did encircle them. I think China is understanding now that they have made a pretty big mistake. Anyway, Ukraine, going great. Ukraine, they messed up invading me. Well, that sounds weird when I say it out loud. Since, you know, I'm Russian and I plan on invading Ukraine, but Ukraine invaded me first. That's like breaking the 4th wall, but in Age of History terms. All right, so I've successfully managed to take over Kyiv. Now it's just a matter of rolling through the country. Shouldn't it be too big of an issue? But I could always be wrong. I'm also going to go ahead and send up all these Russian troops to Belgorod. So we got Odessa now, and I think our last major city is Lviv. And just like that, we have the last pieces of Ukraine. China, don't know what you're doing. You should really worry about yourself because, you know, Kyrgyzstan is going ham on you right now. But I guess I will fight back just a little bit, and I guess also in order to push up my war score a little bit because I do believe China and Ukraine were in a coalition together. All right, so I technically have a higher war score on China than they have on me, and I offered them white peace and they did not want to do that. So that's I find it very interesting because obviously they're not going to win a war because they're missing, they're non-existent. You know, if they insist, I guess we'll keep going. I would really rather not because that's 21,000 troops right there. That's quite a bit of troops. But I just have no interest in, you know, fighting China. They're not a part of the Soviet Union. All right, so now I've managed to go ahead and get a peace treaty with China. I basically took over all of the Manchuria area and then left the rest to be because I don't have any business with them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just disband all of my army over here because they are they're just unnecessary. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to be doing anything over here in Asia. So there really is no point in having these guys here. And then if a war breaks out, then I'll just go ahead and try to white peace. And if that fails, well, then we have a war over here. But you know, I am counting on that to not happen. Now we can finally work on our peace treaty with Ukraine here, and this should be interesting because I don't know if I'll be able to get the whole thing. Looks like I actually will be able to get the whole thing, so we're gonna go ahead and take all of that. And now, since our troops are already here, we're gonna go ahead and move them to the border of Moldova. Also, I did kind of figure out like how to stop the rebellions more. You guys correctly pointed out that I had high taxes, and I knew that like led to rebellion, although it did seem like that I had the higher taxes on for a long time in the video, whereas I really didn't have them on for that long. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing that. Instead, I'll probably just end up taking loans instead of raising taxes. Anyway, now we are pretty healthy economically. We are going to go ahead and put some of that into research. But for now, we're going to declare war on Moldova and finish off over here in southeastern Europe. I'm not expecting a fight from these guys, but if they were to put up a fight, then I would be very impressed. They really didn't. So now we're going to go ahead and completely annex all of Moldova. And I think next we're actually going to go ahead and go down to the Caucasus to complete that area. Got some more technology points after not having them for a little bit. We'll go ahead and put that into whatever I just put it into. And let's go ahead and start our invasion of Georgia. So Georgia, technically I already have South Ossetia and Abkhazia. However, this is not that scenario, so I don't have them. But I'm not afraid of Georgia because they're very small and I'm very big. And I'm not even gonna go ahead and look at the peace treaty. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to roll down, now going after Armenia. Looks like Armenia somehow managed to get Azerbaijan's territory right here. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, speaking of Azerbaijan, we're gonna go after them now. And we'll go ahead and declare war on them. And it's pretty much already over at this point. I have an absurd amount of troops, and now I understand why Russia had so many troops in the Turkey video. It's just, I don't know, they just have a lot of troops. They were also the second strongest country in the world, so that makes sense too. And they also have a higher population than Turkey, so that's also a factor. However, our shenanigans in the Caucasus region are now finished. And actually, it looks like we need a piece of Iran, which is interesting. I think we'll go ahead and try to get that real quick, but it may not go well. So let's first actually go ahead and get a peace treaty done with all the Caucasus countries. All right, so that is all done. And we have some more technology points. I'm gonna put 2 into administration and then 2 into taxation and production. And to be honest, I don't feel comfortable with the amount of troops we have at their border right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and recruit some more to send down there. And now we're gonna go to war with them, but hopefully only for a little bit because I don't need really any of their provinces except for this one. And it looks like their defense isn't the greatest up here. They don't have that many troops here. I'm going to move a little bit further in order to persuade them into accepting a peace deal. I doubt we're going to have that many casualties from this war though. Hopefully that's enough just to get this one province. Let's find out. No, it's not. So we're going to keep going. All right. So at this point, I'm hoping they're just going to let me take this one province and go. I do have a very high war score on them and they let me do it. Cool. So we rolled into there with a lot. Oh, we lost a lot of people. I didn't check the total amount, but that was a high casualty war, and I really didn't want it to be, but Iran had to be a little mean about it. All good though, because that's probably the strongest country that remains that we had to fight. So now we're gonna go ahead and send our troops over to Belarus. And if you're Belarusian, this is terrifying. So there are a fat number of Russian troops on Belarus's border. We have very good relations with them. However, friendships are often broken in world politics, and now they're gonna get invaded. All right, Belarus is now fully Russian. That was pretty easy. We lost 26,000 troops. They lost 25,000, and we lost 119 civilians somehow. I don't know how we lost civilians, but they lost 1,000, which I don't want to say it's not bad because it's still bad. There's civilian casualties, but it really wasn't that bad because there's probably more than 2,000 civilian casualties in Ukraine as of now. Actually, there's probably a ton more, and I'm underestimating that. However, peace treaty, we're doing the Soviet Union, so we kind of need all of that. All right, now we got all that. I'm gonna split those guys and then just start sending troops over to these provinces. I'm also gonna go ahead and reinforce these other Baltic nations for no apparent reason at all. There is absolutely no reason as to why I am stationing troops on your border other than the fact that I'm totally going to invade you. Go ahead and do some assimilation because we don't like rebellions, as you all know by the last video. And we have some technology points. Let's go ahead and dump that into a little bit of everything. I'm going to go ahead and increase spending a little bit. Maybe not too much, but to the point where we're getting like a lot of new stuff. I guess progressing. And now we invade Lithuania first because they are the, well, they're just at the bottom, so we're going to invade them first. I was going to say they're the weakest, but I don't know if that's true. I think that might actually be Latvia. And I forgot about Kaliningrad. That's fine. We don't need Kaliningrad, I don't think. JK, we do. I'm stupid. Why did I say that? Of course we need Kaliningrad. I was thinking like pre-World War II Soviet Union for some reason, but even then they weren't as big as what I'm forming because I'm invading the Baltics, and the Soviets only got the Baltics after World War II. So yeah, life lesson here. Don't listen to me because I'm stupid. Anyway, Kaliningrad is retaken and Lithuania is completely captured. Casualty-wise, 16,000 on our part, 14,000 on their part. We killed around 1,000 civilians, which is similar to what we killed in Belarus. Not good. But what is good is the fact that Lithuania is now under Russian control. Oh, please, nobody take that out of context. Well, now that I've said it, someone is definitely going to take it out of context, but I don't really care because the context is this video. Now for Latvia, same thing. I don't know if their fight will be any different. I'm assuming it will be since they have a lot more provinces than Lithuania does or did. And yes, they did put up a fight because I just lost a lot of troops. And I forgot to bring my backup battalion up north, so that sucks. But no big problem as we take Riga and go ahead and finish off the war with Latvia. So taking a look at this, 12,000 civilians on our part, or not civilians, casualties, 12,000 on their part. And once again, around 1,000 civilian casualties. All right, so now we go on to Estonia, and we are just piling up troops at this point. I apologize to any Estonians in the audience, or I guess anyone who's from any of the countries that I've invaded so far, except for China. I mean, they invaded me, so that doesn't really count. But yeah, my apologies. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and capture Tallinn, and we're gonna send our troops out to these islands, capture them, and that's the Baltics done. Now, if there's any country to be scared of, it's Finland, and that's for a good reason. But I think it's probably not good for me to say that I'm not very scared of them. I'm still gonna put a lot of troops on their borders, just not that many up north here because I don't think they're going to be putting troops here either. The main fight, of course, is going to be over here on this eastern front, and we only actually need a couple provinces from them, being these three. So yeah, let's see what happens here. I'm also going to go ahead and put some troops out here in the Gulf of Finland just in case. I don't think they're going to try anything, but you know, you can never be too careful. And yeah, let's go ahead and start this war. So first, let's put troops in Finland. No crap, that's how war works. And it looks like the Finns really aren't defending that much, which is fine with me. You know, the more provinces I can get in the shortest amount of time, I'm good with that. So it looks like they defended the north more than they were defending in the south, which is weird. Not too big of an issue though. I just need to recruit more troops around here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull you guys back. I'm actually probably just gonna go ahead and try to grab Helsinki and then do a peace treaty because I doubt they're gonna fight after I get near the city. They fought back very hard. So now let's just go ahead. We'll take a look at this map. We need these three provinces from Finland. Peace negotiations, just give me these three and then you will be free. Let's see if they accept it, and they do. Coolio. So all of the stuff that we have done over here in the west is complete. Now all we gotta do is focus in on Central Asia. Now this should be interesting because it's going to be difficultly easy. Kazakhstan is a big country and it takes a lot of time to invade big countries in this game, and also it takes a lot of troops to do that. So it's important to note that there aren't as many Russian recruitables over here as there are over here in the west, which was where I've been invading before. Also, even over here near China where I was doing some invasions, there's more people here than there are around these areas. So important to note that it's might be a little back and forth, but it also might not be back and forth. It's just going to be a very large war in a small way. So I'm going to go ahead and round up all the troops from the Finnish war and put them into this province, Uglitch, how you say it, I don't know. Also going to go ahead and put some more technology points, this time into military administration. All right, all these troops are here. I'm going to go ahead and send them down closer to Kazakhstan, and they probably know that their impending doom is coming. But do not be afraid, it's for the good of the Soviet Union. And we all know how great, amazing that country was. Super great now, wasn't it, guys? Now I'm just going to go ahead and start reinforcing some of these provinces with all the troops that just moved over. Once again, assimilating, because we got to do a lot of that. You know, we have a lot of land. Technology points automatically go to military upkeep, so we get even more money. Actually going to go ahead and dump some money into research while we do this war, because, you know, you only start to gain money when you go to war because your troops are dying, so you have less people to pay. That's horrible. but it's true. So you get more money as a government when that happens. Anyway, we're at war with Kazakhstan now. This is the last large country that we have to fight up against, and I think that goes for both military and size, because Kazakhstan's military isn't like notorious. I didn't let this get, oh boy, so I didn't really finish moving all the troops over, which is fine. I doubt they're gonna try to grab those provinces, even though they just tried to. Anyway, yeah, we're invading Kazakhstan. I don't think the military is too notorious, but they're also a large country, so you can keep that in mind as well. I've gone ahead and taken their capital. However, they just pulled 6,000 troops out of nowhere, and that's not fun to fight up against. So we're going to go ahead and try to rearrange these divisions over here. Also, I just have way too many troops in this one province. All right, and just like that, we have finished off Kazakhstan. So from here, ooh, I forgot Kyrgyzstan did that. That's interesting. Shouldn't be too big of an issue though. Let's go ahead and even more assimilation. At least this way we're not going to get any rebellions. We have technology points, like I've been saying, just dump that into whatever. And looking at this, the casualties wise actually is a lot more than I expected it to be. 31,000 on our part, 34,000 on their part, 2,000 civilians. Oops. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take their entire country, and now we can see that the Soviet Union is almost back. I'm gonna go ahead and try to send an ultimatum to Kyrgyzstan. Now I'm not sure, actually I doubt that this is gonna work, but since they have extra land, they might accept it. So give me those provinces and maybe, okay, they didn't expect it. Wait, no, they did. Wait a minute. Well, that was easy. Usually, oh, we took an extra one. I'm actually gonna give that back to them because I just kind of feel bad. Usually countries don't give up core provinces. Like they never do that. So it's weird to me that they accepted that, but you know, I'm not complaining. What if we go ahead and try to do that with Tajikistan? Maybe we can just take their entire country. So let's see. And they accepted it. Okay, well, we might be able to finish this off a lot easier than I thought we'd have to. Now, Uzbekistan is unlikely to accept this because they're a larger country and also not a super strong country, but they're not a weak at all. So let's see. No, all right, they're gonna hold their ground, which is fine. I expected them to do that. We do have a little bit of a scarcity of troops down here in the south, but I'm not 100% worried about it, even though that is where their more populated area is, I believe. So let's go ahead and declare war on them, and we'll just kind of see this one out. I can't recruit troops down there because I just annexed those lands from Tajikistan and they're unstable, but we'll just, yeah, like I said, we'll just see what happens. So yeah, they have a lot of troops right there. All right, that's fine. And they're going to take those provinces. That's fine as well. All right, well, this is going extremely well for me. They did invade a little bit of my territory, but funny thing is I don't care. Looks like we're at war with Afghanistan, and I'm going to go ahead and just say no to that. You know, just say no, and it worked. That's cool. Now we're going to take this province, and we are, I believe, done with that. So now we have one more country, which is Turkmenistan. We'll go ahead and completely annex all of Uzbekistan. Casualty wise, 25,000 on our part, 22,000 on their part. Don't know how many civilians, but it doesn't matter because they're just civilians. We don't need those. And let's see if I can end this off without a war. I would like to just simply annex you instead of having to fight you. I do have a smaller amount of troops now, but it's still worth a shot, and I have to fight you now. Great. Speaking of shot, you guys are all about to get shot. The war, not the soldiers. I mean in the game, not like the audience. Oh my god. I'm actually curious now if I were to, so I moved all my troops over to the border. If I were to send them an ultimatum now, I wonder if they would accept it since there's pressure on their border. I think this has worked for me before, but I'm not sure if it will now. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and send this, and no. Okay, so we do have to fight them. So this is the grand finale. I expect this to go horribly for Turkmenistan. Not sure why they didn't just accept the ultimatum, because they know that they're not gonna win this war. But you know, it's fine because they're not even putting up a fight. This might be the lowest casualty war ever. All right, so their capital is now mine, and we're done. Let's go ahead and get the peace treaty officially. Yeah, this was a very low casualty war. 8,000 on our part, 9,000 on their part, and 613 civilians. Not horrible. And now we'll go ahead and annex their country in order to complete the Soviet Union. So there we go. There's that. And now we go ahead and hit the Form Soviet Union button. Do that. And it is back. So how is the rest of the world doing? The United States blew up. Expected that to happen. Canada's at war with Greenland. Central America has done stuff. We have a new country? Or no, Guatemala is in Nicaragua for some reason. Nothing in South America as per usual. Africa looks like not too much has happened. Ethiopia did a little switcheroo. Middle East is fine. We know what happened with China, my bad. And then Oceania is fine as well. Europe, Germany and France are at war. Nothing new there. Looks like Hungary and Slovakia got into a little bit of a fight, but they're both still there. And then Scandinavia is fine. Obviously Finland, we messed with them. Yeah, so not too much has happened, but the Soviet Union is back, which we can form this European Union. Oh my god. I'm gonna pass on that. Maybe for another video, hopefully not though. And yeah, that is going to do it for today's video. So if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you're new. All the support is greatly appreciated. It helps our channel grow. It also helps us expand our audience to get more people who are interested in stuff like this the opportunity to watch this content. You're most likely going to go ahead and see another Age of History video next Monday. I hope you guys are fine with that, but that's just until I can figure out what else there is to do other than this game. Also, concerning the Flycorp video, it didn't get enough support, I believe, for it to be made into a series. Now, I know I said I would if enough people said so in the comments, but also factoring in just how the video did in general, the series most likely flop, so I don't want to waste videos on that. Similarly with the tabs video, which did very bad. I don't know why I thought it would do good, but it didn't do very good at all, so you're probably not gonna see any more tabs video. But yeah, that's it. So Age of History has worked well so far, thankfully. We might be able to do something with territorial IO. World blocks doesn't work. I've tried that before, but maybe something with territorial IO. I don't know. Once again, for the third or fourth time now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course, thank you to all the super fans. This includes Patrick Clauser, Yo Moma Moma, Texan Cowboy Cheese, Kylie Speaks Plays, Poland Country Ball, Dimitri, DW Cool Dude, Nevada Garbage Trucks, Yakko, Soviet Ball, and Serminator. Once again, thank you guys.